Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct TRex Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LEGO Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4 Kentrosaurus. This Camp Cretaceous series is actually in collaboration with Ibiza Universe. So watch out for those guys! And here are the winners of our Guess PC contest. First up, our LYKA picks: Sonis, Indri, Tyrant, Mammoth, Cezanne, Ramses, Kentrosaurus, CBO6, Max, and Xander. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10.
The Jurassic Hunter.
Top 9.
For our TH.
Top 8.
Green Fury, the Allosaurus.
Top 7.
Goldwater and Shandy.
Top 6.
Aiden Stevenson.
Top 5.
Draco Whitey.
Top 4.
Jurassic Rex.
Top
Alucard.
Top 2.
Rexy F Rex.
Top 1.
And Maximum Power. Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next PC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct TRex icon and it will take you to the Extinct TRex homepage. And in the homepage, just click on that commit link and it will lead you to all my posts. First up, the making of the Kentrosaurus. Here it is. Alright, so here is our Kentrosaurus being started on. You can see there are different parts of this figure. You can see this is a stable this is from a King Ghidorah part, as well as the other parts there, and this is the regular Triceratops that we have. Of course, the tail of the Triceratops continues on here, and then the tail of the Velociraptor here on the tip. There are, a rubberized foam material here for the plates, as well as, these rubber thingies on the tail. It's actually made up of these as well, but I've already started on the sculpting phase already. Right, so we'll be focusing on additional sculpting features on the Kentrosaurus. We will be using equal parts of Pioneer non-sub epoxy. We have parts A and B. We just mixed two equal parts together, and we're going to use that as the sculpting material for our Kentrosaurus. Okay, so once we have actually mixed those together, we will have this particular clay part of it. So it actually hardens really quickly. So what you're going to do would be, you have to really work fast on this, around 20 minutes or so that you'll be able to complete everything by the time allotted before it actually hardens. Just use small parts on small areas. You don't need a lot actually, because otherwise you're going to bulk up everything and everything will be really heavy. You may use your hands in terms of putting on the sculpt, but you can also use sculpting tools. Be useful in terms of pushing clay like so. Right. Be careful not to disrupt the articulation mechanism here. We don't want it to be a static figure. That is actually the reason why we're adding so much articulation points to the figure, because some of the LEGO figures that were actually recently been created would be really static, and we wouldn't want those to be on our figure. Okay, so also we using Play-Doh. Have fun with it while doing it. Until you finish off until the end all the spikes. You'll also be placing in several more sculpting details on the head. So hi everyone, we're back here and you can see here our Kentrosaurus is already primered with Bosnia number 86 in gray. As you can see here in the photo above. We will now be starting on with the painting once this is already dried, and since it's already dried, and it actually took about 2 hours or so with the pan, because although we were here in the Philippines, it's not actually very hot at the moment being Christmas time. So for this one, we are going to base it off from this particular photo, as you can see here. It is actually the Kentrosaurus from the Camp Cretaceous Season 4 season reveal, or our trailer. You can see that the Kentrosaurus will have several tones of brownish red, burnt sienna, some yellow tones, as well as some grays, to dark brown on the spikes over here. So what we're going to do is we'll be needing some water. We'll also be needing some acrylics and some brushes. So let's start the painting. Alright, so taking apart the dinosaur here, and we're applying the first primary colors. This is actually a mixture of white, burnt sienna, and a little bit of yellow ochre. So we're going to do several coats on the bottom sides of the figure, such as that of the head or the lower jaw, the underside of the neck, the entire bottom part of the body, and also that of the tail. I think the bottom parts of the legs are also of the same color, so we're going to paint that as well. Okay, so now that we have all the parts painted and dried up using our hair dryer, we're going to place in our secondary color here. Now the secondary color is actually the same color that we have here, only it has some more burnt sienna added to it. So do make sure that you don't overdo the colors of burnt sienna, because you want somehow a transition from the paler side towards the much lighter side, or the this same color that we have. So continue on doing this until you have created that the lining from the lighter colors to this one towards on all parts of the figure. Now we're going to add in some splash of colors. We have here a mixture of burnt sienna and a little bit of yellow ochre. Now we're going to mix this with some of the parts here that we have colored earlier, like so. This will create a soft gradient from the previous color here towards the next. Later on, we will be adding several more darker tones to this one, so that it will look a little bit more like that already as the Kentrosaurus in our Camp Cretaceous Season 4. So continue on to add this color towards the entire body, like so. You don't have to be really exact about this, but if you're going to add in some speckles, you have to add in the same number of speckles as what we have here from the right and that of the left. This will actually create that symmetrical look of the figure overall. Okay, so for another primary color, we are going to use this mixture of burnt sienna, a little bit of red, some darker browns colors. I think that is burnt amber, and also a little bit of black. So this will be painted on areas, most probably on the topmost portions of the Kentrosaurus, such as this one. So you need to cover up all of those gray spaces so that you won't miss a spot. So take a look at it from different angles, and even for the topmost portions here, don't miss a spot when you are doing this particular paint, because it's going to show up on video camera or even when you're playing with it. Because when you play with something, you actually look at it from different angles as well. So here you will be doing certain detailing already, because the Kentrosaurus actually has several stripes on the body, the tail, and also the neck area. So now it's time to color the plates. The plates are actually made up of a reddish black to it, so we mix actually some red and also some black, and let's see how it actually gets into it. So here's the color that we have so far. Probably I'll be adjusting several more notes of red to this. Probably add a little bit of blue so that it will have a purplish tone to it. So do this for all the plates, starting from the neck region, also going towards the last plate here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 14 plates all in all for us to do the coloring. Okay, so this will be the final color that we will be showing you during this tutorial. This is actually a mixture of a gray, a darker grayish, and also the colors that we have here, just a little bit. So it will actually appear to be slightly reddish gray here with a little bit tinge of brown, as you can see. So this will actually be painted on all of the spikes here that you see on the Kentrosaurus. So make sure that all of the surfaces are covered from top to bottom. If you need to go twice on several layers for this one, then please do so. But when you do that, please let it dry for a while before adding the second layer. Or even, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this particular tutorial. We'll be seeing you on the next part of this video.
And now for Assembrix.
Okay, so it's now time for us to do Assembrix. Let's count down the number of parts to this figure, shall we? 1. Oops. We have to take this out. And count off the number of parts to this figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 parts to this figure. Let's start by connecting this head piece with the neck one. Okay? There you have it. Now let's connect this to the body. There you go. Now let's connect the tail. And then the tip. Wow, it looks good so far without the legs, right? But we have to continue on. Let's connect this part. This is the left leg. And then the right. Let's connect the hind legs this time. The right one. Then the left. And that's it. That is our Kentrosaurus figure. Hi everyone! So here is our Kentrosaurus so far, and since come Cretaceous Season 4, you know, this particular dinosaur has always been one of those that I've been looking forward to making and also customizing. So for a closer look, I'll be showing you a little bit more of how I did this, and also I will be coming back later for some size comparisons. For now, let's move on with a closer look, shall we? Okay, so let's pick up the Kentrosaurus here and let's examine how it actually is in terms of, you know, details and so on. So here's the head. As you can see here, it's very much the same as how I create my heads for all my stegosaurs. It has certain movements like so. Here you can also actually twist it. Alright, so it has a more of a big like structure here. Very it's more accurate to the fossil findings rather than that of the Cretaceous series, which has a more of a lip to it. Okay, so the plates here are actually of different sizes from small to the largest one, and we have here spikes on the tail as well as those spikes on the shoulders of the Kentrosaurus. The colors of the Kentrosaurus, as you can see here, is very similar to that of the Cretaceous series. Season 4 for the Kentrosaurus, with a reddish brown coloration on the top of its body, as well as the head and the neck, as well as that of the legs. It has this brown tilt to it on the second layer, and then of course lighter layers on the bottom half of the body. So in terms of articulation, of course, aside from the head articulation that you see earlier, the neck is also very much articulated like so, and you can actually twist it like that. Okay, so of course the legs can move on a certain plane, as well as that of the tail. So unlike some of my Stegosaurus before, this Stegosaur or this Kentrosaurus can actually move its tail like that of the Ankylosaurus. So right, left, right, left, like so. And of course it has a tip to it, so I made a separate articulation for this one, so it can actually move by twisting this one. So you can make actually dynamic poses to this particular dinosaur, such as probably depending itself from a T-Rex. No spoilers here, guys. Okay, so you can see here, make the head look from this side, right, and even more extreme like that. And then of course the tail can move on a certain diameter like so, and if you twist it, it's going to be pointing on the enemy. So this dynamic pose is really unique for most stegosaurs, so I think this one is a really good start off for most of my upcoming stegosaurus. This should be one that I can actually refer to or point of reference. Okay, so that's it for the closer look of our Kentrosaurus.
And now let's move on with the size comparisons.
Okay, so I'm back here, guys, and this is the size comparison for our Kentrosaurus here. Now, I'll be comparing this minifigure EV with the size of our Kentrosaurus, and if you actually base it off from this particular photo here, it's almost actually not correct, because the Kentrosaurus in Cretaceous is actually larger than most Kentrosaurus or the Kentrosauruses that we have in fossil records. So I guess that's okay, because more often than not, Jurassic World would actually make larger dinosaurs, right? Alright, so let's move on with some of our comparisons. And these are some of the creatures that we're actually going to be seeing, no spoilers again, in Cretaceous Season 4. So let's start with the smallest one until we end up with the largest dinosaur, okay? So here first is our Compsognathus. So this compy is actually really small, and if you actually compare it with this minifigure, it's almost actually the same size, although only a little bit larger, I guess. Okay, so it's definitely smaller than that of the Kentrosaurus. I wonder where the compy ended up in Cretaceous Season 4. Oh well, you'll see when you watch it. Next up, we have this is the Ceratosaurus. The Ceratosaurus have been appearing in the Cretaceous series. I think they were first seen in Cretaceous Season 1. They were also part in Cretaceous Season 2, I guess, and 3. So it's no surprise that we'll be seeing this dinosaur also in Camp Cretaceous Season 4. Okay, so you can see here, actually the Ceratosaurus and the Kentrosaurus have been somehow within the same era, wherein they lived in the late Jurassic period. So I guess battles between this and this would actually be, somewhat of a possibility. Alright, so next up we have the E750 here. Okay, so enough of that. So the E750, for those of you who have seen Camp Cretaceous Season 4, may not be, something that you may expect for this hybrid to appear, but just watch the Season 4 and let me know in the comments what you think about how this E750 actually appeared in that particular series. Okay, so E750 here is a little bit larger than that of the Kentrosaurus. Alright, actually this is one of my favorite videos so far, but if you haven't seen the video yet on the E750 or Scorpius Rex, guys, please watch it or he will eat you. Okay, so next up on our comparison would be this one. For those of you who had been, following on the news on Camp Cretaceous Season 4, then probably this would be a similar view or a similar photo that we've seen so far. So this is no surprise that we will be seeing a battle between the TRex and also the Kentrosaurus. But we don't know actually. For some of you who haven't seen the series yet, you wouldn't know what would be the ending on that one. I hope it's a good one though. Okay, so definitely our T-Rex here is larger than that of the Kentrosaurus. And comparing it with the photos that we have so far appearing on the internet, the size of the T-Rex here in proportion to the Kentrosaurus is just about right. Okay, so let's move on with another or the last comparison. We have the Indominus Rex. So the Indominus Rex actually has, had been in Camp Cretaceous Season 1, and we have been looking forward for it to be appearing also in the next, series for Camp Cretaceous. And again, with that of the E750 or Scorpius Rex, you'll be seeing this big guy within that particular, episode. Right, so definitely since the Indominus Rex is much larger than that of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, then of course this is definitely larger than that of the Ketosaurus. Okay, so that's it for our size comparisons. We can now move on with the next portion of this video, which is the species roll call. Alright, so you have here all the dinosaurs that I presented earlier, but if you guys have, suggestions and probably comments on this particular dinosaur, the Kentrosaurus, then please do comment them down below. Also, if you have several suggestions on what other dinosaurs you'd like to see here on this series for Camp Cretaceous Season 4, then please do comment them down below as well. There's just a few, dinosaurs that were actually notably can be done here on Extinct Bricks, but yeah, I'd like to see in your comments what you think of that, and also probably what you think of the Camp Cretaceous Season 4 overall. If you want to ask my opinion, initially I was really excited for this particular series, and the excitement really doesn't build up to a point where certain episodes were really dragging, and those robotic things, those dog robot, and I was actually expecting a lot of species to be coming in there because it's Manticorp, and with that, Manticorp has been active in terms of cloning other dinosaurs other than that of Jurassic World. So it was kind of disappointing for me, at least in terms of the species line for Camp Cretaceous season 4. But nonetheless, the series is still a really good series to watch, especially if you are a dinosaur fan or even an overall Jurassic World, Jurassic Park fan. Okay. Alright, so also, AB here would like to remind you guys that all of these creatures that you see here are present in the Extinct Rex playlist. But I'll be putting in individual links of all these dinosaurs here in the below description so that you won't have to look at them one by one. Okay, so let's start with the species roll call, shall we? This is the Extinct Rex, Cretaceous, Indominus Rex. This is the Extinct Rex, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Compsognathus or Comfy. This is the Extinct Rex, Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3, Ceratosaurus. This is the Extinct Rex, Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And of course, the start of the show here, this is the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4, Ketosaurus. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video from start to end. And I will be putting several more video clips of the Kentrosaurus, so watch this video until the end. Alright? And of course, before we end this video, I'd like to say thanks to everyone who have supported Extinct Rex throughout the years. This year for Extinct Rex has been such an eventful one with several releases of new species. Your views, your likes, your comments, everything, they mean so much to me, everyone. So thank you so much, and maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Also, please don't forget to support our other channels, Ibita Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support their channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!